Good morning, wherever you're watching Luntha Television. Welcome to our today's edition of Press Review right here on Luntha Television. And today you are with me, Charity Shilanga, and my colleague
Robert Edward. Good morning, Charity.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. Okay, I was almost tempted to put on a black jacket, but for some reasons I said no. So I think it has resonated very well that you're putting on black and blue. Otherwise, people could have matched us. Yeah, but today on a Wednesday, September 20th, 2023, it's another great day. I always say that when the year is going to MBER, so the Mba,
yes.
So the September,
October, November, December.
You just know, like, the year is going to an end. So this is Press Review. You have the Nation?
Yes, I will be taking through the Nation newspaper. And to begin with the front page of the Nation newspaper, there is a story with two headlines. The main headline says funding delays 163 billion kwacha project. And the sub-headline says 5-year presidential initiative given Patri 2 billion kwacha. Patri, the story leads, Malawi's 5-year rural roads and water infrastructure development program is suffered a setback due to funding challenges as Treasury has to date allocated 2 billion kwacha of the 163 billion kwacha budget it has emerged. In a brief to the Parliamentary Committee on Transport and Public Infrastructure at Parliament building in Lilongwe yesterday on progress of projects under the Ministry of Local Government Unity and Culture Principal Secretary Esmika Inja said the project requires 163 billion kwacha to be implemented.
It's not only that project. Of course, you had room ababa in the year. There are a lot of projects. There is a road in the north. Right now, people have started wearing the guduri and doing the press conferences. Otherwise, yes. It's 282 kilometers from Lumpi via Nyika to Chitipa. Yeah, this road has been there as a campaign gimmick for a long time. This is according to what these friends of Chitipa and Lumpi have been saying. It's just the first 20 kilometer stretch. Mpakapanova. We are talking about, this is, I think, the 30th. I think if so there are a lot of projects, but suffice to say that there are a number of projects as well, road construction projects that we have seen taking shape, and the progress is very well, especially in the cities of Lilongwe. In fact, if you come to Lilongwe, some 6 months ago, because it's not the way it was, because what and when I'm activists, my political handicrabbers, or they are political bootlickers. This is what some so-called political analysts and commentators call those people. To me, I don't think Yamakara would my bootlickers and my hata grabbers. When I'm appreciate. Of course, the distortion sometimes. Yeah, go this side maybe when as many man cross in our zone. And now I will turn to the first page of the Daily Times. Government U-turns on MPs' assistance. The government has changed tune on the recruitment of personal assistants, PAs, for members of parliament, MPs. Initially, the government indicated that PAs for MPs would help in the management of Constituency Development Fund, CDF, a decision that was made after Parliament approved the increment of the CDF package from 40 million to 100 million per constituency. Okay. Somebody said when this issue was coming, say it could be Arwankani, Musakalo Yambila with Sankani, before I have been doing Mokai. Okay. I'm moving to Nigeria. IMP naga kutengolera kalipewa enesonga matsotsi koma ine I was the first person to say if it means kuti asazanditengera kuti asazanditenge MP na ali kalipewa but this is totally uncalled for. I was speaking in a certain forum but this is totally uncalled for because imagine MP which ali yese panopa kuyatunga para 193 so ali yese a credit person assistant I mean it was something that usually was not supposed to be the case. I hope the government is doing this because of the measures to make sure that the tumba limene ndilotu pakale la ndalama zimene amapereka ukatha mwezi wa anthu ngati masalari lisamapitirire kutupa chifukwa cha zinthu zokuti we can do without because kumuthandiza MP with 100 million kwa ya CDF kumuthandiza what kind of kumuthandiza is it because MP alibe account kulibe sokumakhala kuti kuli bwanje north account yeah kumakhala with the decentralization ndalama zija zimafikira pa district so ma MP ajamene azeka panga attend ma council meetings so kumene kunya kumene kumakhala ma plan MP ujamene no ine I'm thinking kuti kwathu kuti pange takambirana ndi ma committee ajamakhala background amene amakhala achitu kumwe kupita zachitukuko yeah amene amakazota akambira and so anyway so it's great and thumbs up to government. That's the way to go and even the analysts ababa akunena ndithu kuti they are list. So I think we can go to the next story.
The second page of the Nation newspaper, 2025 post calendar out. Analysts call for sensitization and party. The story leads. Political analysts have called for increased sensitization for the electorate on the processes in the run-up to the September 2025 tripartite elections to ensure a free, fair and credible election. They expressed the sentiments in their reactions to Malawi Electoral Commission May calendar outlining activities on the road to 2025.
Yeah, the blessed make. It will never go unfunded because it's political anyway, but it's indeed good. And I know a voter and then I do it. Tauze ma company, kabena tauze mabungwe. Kudi Luntha television, ema onega bena bali bose mai mama. So ngati really can have voter education this not if you are thinking of anybody to partner you need to come now chifukwa kumene tikupita ku come December and all that you will not even have the space because there are a lot of partners who are coming to Luntha TV to partner because we are everywhere bali pose andama zoti kuli Luntha kumalawi kuno and zimene makamba for some reasons andama zikhulupirira probably there is some church. No. There is some church attached, you know.
Okay, yes.
I mean, there is an institution you have to trust, you know. So it's a free code rule. Mukoza kumana ndi kuli anthu kuno kula ina Bridget Manoka mukoza kumana nawo.
Zampini.
Father David Noagaba, Father Nobedi. Azakubasana kuti tiendele limodzi. We have even some other organizations. Many are the NCA, DCA.
Yes.
We are partners. And we make sure kuti zimene amapanga anthu muziziziwa. So ugu kuzajisa nkuku sinkani yosewera iya. So we are there to make sure kuti anthu adziwe. Chifukwa anthu ndiye amuonera Luntha television ngati mukuonera amene ndoti anthu amene mufuna zoti mwauze nawo sakurani aonera. Now there is another story on the third page. Court suspends Kalindo's arrest. The Lilongesenyo Resident Magistrate Court yesterday suspended the warrant of arrest that the state used in arresting comedian come human rights activist Bon Kalindo, who has since been released after spending 4 days in custody.
Bon Kalindo.
I was in the court.
Yes.
And the ruling. There were 2 applications. I want to believe that I missed the ruling on the other application, but the application to suspend the warrant of arrest. Uweluza mlandu anena kuti apolisi wadalakwisa kumanga Kalindoyo. One, njira imene anatengera warrant of arrest, it was unprocedural. Now, how was it unprocedural? there are pamakhala ndondomeko zimene zimatsatidwa pali kabuku kena kake amakatchula kuti CPR. So kama sokoneze chifukwa CPR ayo matanthauza Criminal Procedure and Evidence Code. Okay, ndiye paliso civil procedure paja milandu makhala iwiri pakhala milandu apachiweniweni imene amati ma civil case ne makhala milandu ya upandu imene amati criminal case. So all these have got procedures. For example, mlandu George Sangochi so unali wa criminal unali wa civil. Okay, so civil panopa civil division ngati kulilongwe ili chapa design printers apo kweli athiri kuti ndi kwa criminal kumene kuchapo. So kabuku kameneka kali ndi ma section but in this section kwa section 01 101 102 103 imaforokoza kuti bwino kuti zimakaba. So mwachidula nena kuti mudatenga kunongo kala atoka mangira kali kwa munaka mangiranso pakuti koti lino liliso likuvaso milandu ina. So chimene mwakanapanga munakangombweresa kaya mutamanga amwetamanga uyo tufuna timuzo kuti tamanga koma munamtengaso ndikumpititsa kumakilo somewhere a lot of kilometers. So
yes,
chimenecho ndi chimene chinalidinya kwambiri koti kuti apapa mudalakwitsa koma kalindo yonso akukhulupirira kuti naye bwalo sauda kubele kujatu sumango mwetu lilakunaye amapeza zote alankhula kuti amati however bwalo la milandu litulutsa samon limuyitana kalindo kupita ku court kuti akafotokoze ndi chifukwa chani inuyo tsiku lomaliza kupita ku polisi panali pa 28 April. Okay, ndiye kuti chimene chitika chimene okhala chimene chosati kunjata munthu wayi. So akalindo atatulutsa ayankhula mawu kuti yo sasiya kumenyera ufulu wa anthu osauka akutero ndimene zili kumeneko
ndibona sana lengezeso kuti mademo ina aliti
ayi komando tukhulupirira kuti akukwera zalengeza timva kuti mademo atsikwa kuti
all right, moving on to the business segment of the Nation newspaper. Genco moves on geothermal power. Electricity generation company Genco says it is looking for geothermal exploration to diversify the country's power sources and boost generation capacity. This follows the signing of the collaboration framework agreement on the execution of geothermal projects in Malawi with Geothermal Development Company GDC, a fully government-owned firm in Kenya. Yes.
That's something that we need to be going for as a country.
Yes.
Mabunge ngati Genco tima kazilitsa kuti adzipanga zimenezo. Chifukwa that should be the way to go. Tizichita explore njira zina kuti nkhani ndiyo timagetsiwa sulazitima. So that's good and thumbs up. Mwina zinthu zina za nthamango yankhula koma ukati upite mmakokamu miraga pala anthu ena ndithu magisaja kangotima ndoti simenelo sali amakhala ali ndi chometera chawo amita anthu atatu simenelo zatheka basi. So zimakhala zinthu zoti ndizofunika. Business hope fading on coming inflation. The country's medium-term aspirations to achieve a 5% inflation rate seems far-fetched, as microeconomic indicators and commentators point in the opposing direction. Malawi, being a member of the Southern African Development Community (SADC), has a target of to attain 5% inflation rate in line with the bloc's mandate. If you ask me, what inflation is about?
Hope fading on inflation.
Koma mulungu atithandize. Mulungu atithandize. As we are going to arts and culture, I'll take you through a story in the arts and culture of the nation. Set September 25 for album release. Saint is set to host a listening party on September 22, 2023 for the latest album I Am to be released on September 25, 2023. The longer-based artist said on Monday that the album is ready and that the listening party is a hit up to the release. Wow.
All right.
That's great. What do we have in the
Jewa's
African
go
culture?
loco with Manoa Jewa.
Mm.
In partly, the story leads postponement of traditional annual Kulamba festival this year has moved the Jewas in Malawi to go local and celebrate their culture as well as heritage under the Nkumanoa Jewa banner. The festival, slated for September 30th at Silver Stadium in Rongi, is being organized by Jewa traditional chiefs in conjunction with Jewa Heritage Foundation. Careful.
I think we can go
Take a video.
80 meters. When you go to Sumango Peter Ali,
Aye, basi.
Ungo Peter uti basi kuntunkuti.
Basi, terrible.
Let's go to international. We have a story here. Crimes against humanity continue in Ethiopia. That's according to UN. War crimes and crimes against humanity are still being committed in Ethiopia near a year after government and regional forces from Tigray agreed to end fighting. United Nations experts have said in a report published on Monday. Yeah, and then I think I just have to share with Malawians that there were two speeches yesterday at the UNGA,
Yes.
the United Nations General Assembly, and these are the speeches that I think everybody was waiting for. The speech from the U.S. President Joe Biden
And
about Ukraine, of course, and the speech from the Vladimir Zelensky himself, the president of Ukraine. So, in summary, the Joe Biden is reaffirming the U.S. support now, but the U.S. support to Ukraine. But this time around, it kind of takes the tone to like it should be each and every country's contribution. Okay, there is a reason. There are some things happening in the U.S. House. There are some quotas who are trying to say they should stop the aid to the military and other aids to Ukraine. According to the analysis that I saw on CNN yesterday, it goes to a suggestion that should anything happens for Joe Biden, like next year when they're having elections,
yes.
it like God forbid if he's not going to be the president again, it means maybe the next president is not going to go in the books of assisting Ukraine. But according to Ukraine, Russia is weaponizing food and oil and all that. That's exactly what he was saying in his speech. I listened to it and I was watching it on the Al Jazeera and CNN. So
okay.
I think anambire kuunga kuja madigirira nditu kuti zinthu izizi ziwiri
My speech here.
ma speech awira awawa atuluke. Yeah, so that's it from United Nations General Assembly.
All right.
I was hoping to see that story in the papers, but let's go to sports.
The back page of the Nation newspaper, that's local sports injuries fixtures. Wale Kasua in part with the story leads. FC Binyasa Bullets say the Thames Scrambled Daily is a cause of concern as they try to navigate both domestic and international fixtures amid injuries to 8 of their key players. The People's team are expected to play 3 domestic fixtures within 6 days before they travel to Lubumbashi in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, for the CAF Champions League second preliminary round reverse fixture against TP Mazembe on September 13th.
Not news in the world of football as a game. There are a lot of injuries that people encounter. We've seen even on the international level. My player amata kumisa nditu magema wira that because they are having troubles. All right, the back page of the Daily Times, mixed fortunes for Scorchers. Team available for COSAFA Cup. Tabitha doubtful. Malawi national women's football team striker Tema Chawinga has been cleared by the Chinese club Wuhan Jiangda to take part in the 2023 Hollywood Bates COSAFA Cup scheduled for October 4 to 15 in Johannesburg, South Africa. However, her elder sister Tabitha Chawinga is doubtful for the regional showpiece following her loan move to PSG from Wuhan. Those guys. They're in Malawi jersey and they're making us proud.
Yes.
Okay, so there is some channel, the Chinese channel, and then they were discussing these issues as well. And they were like, Malawi based. I was like, yeah, this is what it means to put Malawi on the map. So I don't know if we put Malawi on the map or we remove Malawi on the map. Yeah, so this is great. I think if you have another story before we move to international sport.
Binganjila Foundation bills out netball teams. The Thompson and the Barbara Binganjila Foundation has adopted financially struggling Rainbow Paints Brantia in district netball league teams, Brantia Tremors and Shizila Queens, with the 10 million kwacha injections into the welfare. Speaking during the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the Brantia District Netball Committee on Monday, the foundation's executive assistant Tabitha Mando said they are determined to help the teams grow into formidable outfits. I think we move on to the international.
So the international sport is the famous controversial story about the Spain and the officials. So it's widely described as the kiss scandal. Spain forward says nothing has changed. Jane Hermoso says calling up players for who are boycotting Spain's women's team shows nothing has changed at the country's football federation. Players have been boycotting the team since the federation's former president, Luis Lebios, kissed Homos after the Women's World Cup final last month. It led to Rubian's resignation, while manager George Vida was sacked. New head coach Monse Tom has called up 15 members of World Cup winning team, but Homoso was left out. Tom said the Pachuca forward was omitted from the upcoming National League. Wow. So, okay. I don't know if you are following this story, but
no,
somebody. Okay, so there was, Spain the world champions.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
The netball
Yes.
World Cup. I'm not the netball, but the women football World Cup, and then. Also the captain, yeah. There was only somebody, one of the managers, manager, what kissed her in celebration. There was that. This is over the kisses. Massive. Mpakana muntu anaita resign. As we are talking. So, so they are recalling and trainings and all that, but in solidarity, as they have been boycotting. So it wasn't consented. Okay.
It was an excitement.
No, but you don't have to. You don't have to do it without a consent. It's a crime. Even in Malawi, ndito amakana zile zozo Malawi. Chira zaira na azabwera azafuno. Yeah. So if you have another story, but with time, mayambe usazika.
Osati muyambe inu.
Yeah, mayambe ndino. Fuga ndigamba. Hey. Yes. And then I think didn't show too bad on my friend jump on my page. Yeah, video with me, Robert Edward, and these papers are going at 1,200. Please do yourself a favor, get a copy and read through their great stories, including the macro story. So each and every media house, like the radio, okay. I was with either one frequency or only two.
Yes.
Nationwide. So what my mother did Zimba, no radio agent, no Vera agent, was that's how great Macra has gone. I think for the first time.
But the condition in the US media houses.
space mene mumakhala ma frequency munadzadza ndiye amakanga kuti akukilina memo ndiye kukilina kwake sona mangokilina sona mangokilina kuti niwe muzini mukakhala kunjeni hayi zodiac tikuimba pa 22 chakuti kenaka mukapita akufuna kuti yonse ingokhala imodzi kuti musamaita kuvutika mukapati muchoka kuno mukuyendesa gali moto lanu mukudusa mudeza mupita ku blanda muchoka kuliro musamata potata mundafika kudeza then izingokhala imodzi. For the first time, let me register my excitement on behalf
for the very first time.
For the very first time,
yes.
Makra. I know it is breaking news to them because they wouldn't expect me to say so. Thumbs up, you have done great. This is what we have been looking for.
Yeah.
However, you've been with me, Robert, and my friend. And on the FCC, we had Mr. Yamikani Nyambo.
Have a lovely morning.